Welcome, everybody. I'm Max Barrows. Welcome to our workshop on Let's Get Connected, the National Self-Advocacy Resource and Technical Assistance Center, SARTAC, which is, we pronounce the abbreviations, Self-Advocacy and Beyond, and your partner in strengthening self-advocacy. So, thanks for spending time with us. Today you will be able to, work in, a small group and go on, kind of a scavenger hunt to find resources on the SARTAC website. Number two, find out about being a self-advocate fellow, which means doing an internship with us. The third is speak up and get a raffle, get a raffle ticket, and you might win a free t-shirt. And that t-shirt's from Vermont, where I'm from. Next, learn how we are, connecting the dots between self-advocacy and other civil rights movement. And also discuss the future of self-advocacy, including growing leadership among youth and people with diverse backgrounds. So during this workshop, I want to hear from you. Now, I want to hear from all of you in this room. So there will be plenty of times where I will look to you to, engage and you in this presentation to get your ideas. And just your ideas will help, make SARTAC and self-advocacy better. So as I said before, but I'll say it again, I am, Max Barrows, and I am the assistant director of SARTAC. I also am the outreach director for Green Mountain Self-Advocates, which is the state self-advocacy organization that I work for in Vermont. So I'm just curious, and I would like to just hear one at a time. I'm just curious to know, like, has anyone ever heard of SARTAC? And if so, what do you know about it? Go ahead, Jordan.
I went a fellow in 2022, and it's a great program that the people that are home, what they call people in tunnel, and they're just a great organization to work for. You get your work on how to get it already. I worked on making sure people with their medical equipment have the equipment and to find more resources for people so they can get their stuff repaired.
Great. Thank you so much, Jordan. Anybody else? Anybody else want to, take a stab if you heard of SARTAC? And if you've heard of SARTAC, just give me just like your thoughts of what you like, what you know about it. And it doesn't have to be a complicated answer. It could just be what you know. Go ahead. Go ahead. Can you say that again? I couldn't. How do you apply for it? We will get into that. We'll definitely get into that. Anybody else? All right. Well, how about this for a question? how can I or Sartak help your self-advocacy group get stronger? In other words, what are your ideas to make your group better? And just tell me your idea and I can pass out a raffle ticket. Go ahead. Did you have your hand up, Jordan? Go ahead.
They provide, five $5,000 to get their, project started.
What's
And the resources they need. I was just a person from CPD, they were like organization that partnered with. But struggle with the process.
I don't know why this
didn't. The goal person to, get involved and, to, like, connect all the dots and stuff like that.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much for that. You're going to get a raffle ticket. You could.
What was the question?
The question was like, how can we make your group like better? Or what can I do to make your group better? Listening and assisting and helping. Okay. Go ahead. Uh, would you like to speak up? Go ahead. Okay. That's great. Go ahead.
Like for size program, like.
Yep. Go ahead.
Like have more exercise programs available for people with special needs.
Okay.
Like with like where I live,
Yep.
I can't really go to Y and lacrosse. So the only place that I can go to that costs money is like the Anytime
Mhm.
Anytime Fitness. I just wish Anytime Fitness can do this stuff. Do like have like something available like the Y does. Like for example, like having like a pass
Mhm.
for those who can't go to the Y.
Mhm. Cool. Thank you.
Do we have to fill out these things on the back?
I think so, yes.
Okay.
Dude.
Wait. My name is Stacy. I do like this class
Okay.
and I live in Wreck River Forest. I do got a job from cooking
Yeah.
and doing dishes. So,
So the question for you is like, what can I do or Sartak
what I do,
to make
yeah.
to make your self-advocacy group better?
what, takes a while for me.
Oh,
I do, I do, we do a spa and like classes at Apted, yet reasons.
I just go through. There you go. Thank you for. So, let me just go through some things, and I forgot to, but so what is SARTAC? SARTAC is we are making self-advocacy groups stronger by supporting local and state groups such as yours, and we meet every Thursdays on Zoom with 50 plus self-advocates from across the country. We support 6 self-advocates a year to do a self-advocacy project. We run a website loaded with self-advocacy resources. We make connections between self-advocacy and other civil rights movements and provide training and technical assistance. So SARTAC, stands for the Self-Advocacy Resource and Technical Assistance Center. And it was created around 2016 by self-advocates. And it's what we call a clearinghouse where ideas and tips and any other information is shared to help state self-advocacy groups and organizations thrive. And all of the information that is shared is created by self-advocates for self-advocates. And it's a way for us to stay connected and support each other. So it's your turn now, and I want to learn from you. But what I'm going to do is yes. So if there's any other ideas that you have, I know some of you had your hands up. If there's any other ideas that you have to make your self-advocacy group better, please feel free to share. And my assistant will go around with a microphone. That way everybody can have a chance.
Do you know if they would have any pull in finding resources for housing for people with disabilities, young adults with disabilities in housing?
So if there was any thing on housing for people with disabilities, if there was any resources, they would be, put on the website. And what I'm going to do is, as this workshop goes on, I'm going to show you like how to kind of research any kind of like ideas about a particular topic such as that that is up on our website, if it is.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Some of the people on.
Some of the people on,
the
you know,
subject. Go ahead.
some of the people on the SARTAC organization, might have material that they could, share with us that would be put on the website after looking at it. There's some people in the back. I got you next.
Hi, my name is Dawn. This is my son Kyle. We're from Oshkosh. We're wondering, we've never heard of SARTAC. This is our first conference. Is SARTAC something that we could utilize if Kyle has ideas for fresh self-advocacy programs that we could network with you on the Zoom meetings and get something started for our own community?
Yes. So the answer is yes. That's part of the purpose of SARTAC is to make self-advocacy organizations such as yours where you live better, and also to help with getting self-advocacy groups going in your community. So that would be something that we would be, doing. So yes.
Perfect.
My name is Amber, and I live in Brookfield, and one of the things I'm always trying to advocate for is for transportation
Yeah.
for people with disabilities after programming hours. Because a lot of us, we have events and things we want to go to, but we can't because our families usually can't take us because they've got their own things they've got to do. And so I was thinking maybe if there was a way to somehow get like to help with funding for like low cost and reliable transportation and stuff so that we could have it for like after hours and on weekends. So that we could go hang out with friends and, go to movies, go shopping, do basically everyday life stuff.
So if that's an issue or an important topic, for the Self-Advocacy and Resource and Technical Assistance Center to look into and stuff, if there's any like thing that self-advocates have in terms of sharing that particular topic on our website to get ideas on how to go about an issue like that, that would be something that, we would have information from self-advocates for if it ends up going up on the website. Again, this is all about ideas on like hearing from you. I know you had your hand up. Over here. I'll bet.
Now I lost my train of thought, but you know, well, what ideas that you can make is maybe getting some groups from different districts or some different types of, places to combine, maybe make the things more stronger by combining more groups from maybe from lacrosse or many other stuff to make the the making people from getting like more people from different places to come and do what you guys want to do from your making things more easier for maybe some how can I say it uh making things more easier so by maybe communications or contacting them or something or maybe getting or making the yes like talking and communication skills.
If there were any ideas on those topics that the Self-Advocacy Resource and Technical Assistance Center, can put up on their website, we'd be more than happy to.
StarTech have any sort of,
I'll speak up a little bit. I think the microphone. Go ahead.
does StarTech have any sort of, like monthly newsletter email list?
We do have, I think we do have an email list. Yes, we do have an email list. When that's also a way for us to get out the announcements about our weekly meetings that happen every, Thursday. So yes. Over there.
Hi, my name is Claire. What I was curious about is the scope towards post-secondary education. And is StarTech a part of that conversation or?
So if there was like something on education that may be on the minds of people with disabilities that they may have materials for, we would, after looking at it, we could, if there's anything that you would like to share, we can like definitely put something up on the website after we look at it.
So things do trickle your way for post-secondary educational opportunities.
Like,
Across the nation.
yeah, I mean, like if that's an issue regarding, you know, people with disabilities rights to education, maybe like if there's any tips and tricks on how to go about, you know, making sure you have the right to access information, education, you know, any material created by self-advocates such as yourself, we'll look at it and then we can put it on the website. Again, this is like a clearinghouse or a website for ideas for people when they have issues or topics that are important to them.
Can I say something real quick?
Hold on.
Max could touch up on this. On the SARTAC meetings, we
There's-
ask them what they want to talk about, and we get a list.
And then what we do is we vote on the top topics that people literally like want to talk about. But we gather ideas from people on the weekly meetings that we have. A lot of ideas. Let's see.
Wondering if you can get us on, oh, Mike, you know it. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
there you go.
If we can get on Zoom
Yeah.
and try to connect us on Zoom, then we can work out like for evening, for transportation, like on evenings. If the buses don't run after hours, they shut that down.
Right.
Yeah, go ahead, Leanne.
But like a later meeting for those that work, so they could join in on your,
Yeah,
Zoom meetings.
Zoom meetings.
All right.
Yeah.
That could be an idea.
Yeah, that's my idea. If we can do
Okay.
it, we can connect in on that.
The meetings that we have are from 12 to 1 Eastern time, which would, 12 to 1 Central time, which would be 1 to 2 Eastern time. So your time, every Thursday, the meetings that we have where we connect with people throughout the country are 12 to 1 p.m. Central time.
We got a question at the
And they
work.
do
on
get
that.
recorded.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have a question. How do you join?
How do you join?
Yeah.
So we'll definitely get into that.
Okay.
If all the questions.
All the
about-
questions about SARTAC we'll get into. And I could take 2 more and then I got to move on.
My name is Patrick and I'm from BDD. And I wanted to say if we could like own our own advocacy like business and like everybody else said, like get more transportation involved. So yeah.
So again, if that's an idea for the SARTAC website, if there's any ideas that you guys want to come up with, that'd be good. There's someone in the back that could take that.
John. Hi. You guys gonna when I know we can say you can talk to other people on your phones. Yeah. Another way too.
Getting internet or phone.
Phone?
Getting what?
Getting like, like phone internet for the maybe website of whatever.
Well, not everybody has access to internet, so,
If that's what he was talking.
but I think.
What is your name?
Oh, my name's Max.
Son?
Nice to meet you.
Internet access is something we talked about.
Right, that is something that we've talked about. We also talked about internet safety. Go ahead.
Hi, oh, excuse me. Hi, I'm from Active and Lacrosse, and what StarTech can do is help our group understand a little more about people who need help.
Help groups understand a little more about what we need help with.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's a topic that can definitely be put on the website. I just want to see if, oh, you already got a ticket. I could take one more and then,
I think just finding a way to talk more about SARTech, because it's something that I had no idea even existed before coming here today. So if there's a way to reach more people, and I don't know if that is through, I know not everyone has the internet, so if social media is a way, if there is coming to conferences, or if there's something that can go out to people in the mail just to be able to find out about it, so then they can find out about like the fellowship programs and
right,
all the great resources that you have through SARTech.
yeah,
Because people can't find it and or don't even know about it, then they can't find out about all the great resources that you're trying to compile too.
all right. So these are all really good ideas. Thank you so much for that. So these are just, our partners that work with us on the SARTech organization. I don't know if any of you have ever heard of any of these, partners, such as, wondering if anyone's ever heard of like any of these organizations. And, if you'd like, you can tell me just a little bit about them. Go ahead, Jordan.
Out there, I was pointing to everyone to see, but, there's the, National Agency for the Wisconsin Board for People with Developmental Disabilities, and also the Green Mountain Self Advocate, that's where you're from, they're from Vermont. And I know a lot of other things, but I'll let you explain, the others.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you. Next slide. So one of the coolest things about SARTech is that most of the staff who run SARTech are self-advocates. So self-advocates are in charge. SARTech employs 8 self-advocates on the management team for the SABE, which stands for the Self-Advocates Becoming Empowered and Partners. So as you can see up there, Tianellis, and then, presenting, and Thomas Caswell recording a podcast. And then another colleague of mine, Sterling Peoples, who's a social media specialist. Okay, so SARTech has a few different projects. So the first, thing that that we talk about is SARTech fellowships. And has anyone ever, heard of a SARTech fellowship? Go ahead, Jordan.
That's what I did for you guys.
Yep.
So I kind of already explained it, but, it's basically like a little thing, it's, you get to think what you work on, it's just a great.
Yeah.
To get what you want to accomplish, and they'll be there to assist you along the way.
Yeah, absolutely. So that is why we are here to learn. So the SARTech Fellowship is like a year-long opportunity for self-advocates, and the purpose is for leaders in the self-advocacy movement to develop and grow their skills. And so fellows work with a supporting organization on policy issues or a project that can help develop their leadership skills. And SARTAC fellows help with strengthening, our movement by providing fellowships for self-advocates. And so so what we do is we help strengthens the movement by providing fellowships for self-advocates. We award 6 fellowships each year, and self-advocates earn $5,000 to work on a self-advocacy project that they pick. And each fellow works with a host organization. You build skills needed for careers as a professional self-advocate. So these are just, just 3 of my favorite fellows. So I'm just gonna say a little thing about like each one that I chose. First is person on the far left, Ocean Poet. And Ocean Poet is from Minnesota. And Ocean believes art is helpful in self-advocacy for people to express themselves. And Ocean believes that in their words, that your art is your words and your words are your art and your art is your protest. And Ocean did a project that focused on bringing people with disabilities together in the community to learn about self-advocacy and self-expression through art. The gentleman in the middle, Timotheus Gordon Jr., he's from Illinois. And something that I learned is that he does work on combating police violence within within disability communities in Chicago. So he's very outspoken about that, and he did a presentation on talking about that on one of our meetings. And the last person on the far right is Thomas Caswell. Thomas Caswell is from Vermont, which is where I'm from. And Thomas supports youth with developmental disabilities, and he does a fellowship. He did a fellowship on youth coming out as lesbian, gay, bisexual, or trans, which for many can be like, coming out of 2 closets, as he would put it. And now what I'm going to do is, so I wouldn't talk at you for so long, is I will wave my, magic SARTAC wand and imagine you just got a $5,000 to do a project about self-advocacy. And if you got $5,000 for a self-advocacy project, what would you do?
I will share with other people, don't keep it for myself, because I'll share with everybody else too, beside myself.
What would you do for a project?
For project, I will build a homes, like houses, like tables and stuff. Like you don't have to go to the grocery store, spend a lot of money. Just you can have mine for free.
Yeah. So that's a good one. So housing. Well, go ahead.
When I was in junior high, I was asked this question and I had to give a speech and do all that, but the idea has always stayed with me.
Yeah.
And my idea back then and still kind of my idea now is to find a way to offer more programming toward self-education, post-secondary education, any form of education. And what I came up with was this thought of opening a summer camp for folks with and without disabilities that would just promote compassion and confidence. And it would be like a great challenge and growth opportunities for anyone in any creative form to come and learn. Everyone would be welcome.
Oh, nice.
So Kyle has a unique situation. He suffered cardiac arrest at 13. So he has always had so CPR saved his life. So he has taken on a passion of CPR awareness. So one of the ideas that he had, if he had $5,000, is trying to do a project where we encourage people to be advocates for CPR medical awareness, in that maybe people can't physically do CPR, but they can always help calling 911, getting help. So that would be the project that he would want to spearhead.
Nice.
My project would be about physical fitness
Huh.
because the disabled community, they're not the most, some of them can't do,
Yeah.
they can't move as much.
Yeah.
How would that be?
Go ahead. What project would you do if you had $5,000 for SARTAC?
I keep it.
You would keep the money. You would definitely keep the money. You
I keep it because I do like budget for addicts.
say that again.
Addicts.
Project for
Projects for
for
addicts.
project for active. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We do
What are your favorite groups that you would want to do?
Yeah.
they do crafts too.
Crafts.
Yeah, towards
Okay.
projects.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yep.
Thank you.
How? Is this for the whole state or the whole nation? How far out do you start?
Country.
The whole
The
country.
whole entire country.
Okay.
Could I have you from?
One of the things that I've noticed, because I am a vocational rehabilitation counselor, is I noticed that there are people that feel like they've been discriminated against but don't know where to go.
Oh.
So I would like to start a little project where we can increase the awareness of your legal rights under the Americans with Disabilities Act.
There you go. It's a ticket for you. And we have talked about that in one of our meetings. So yes. Yeah, but we could do it again. I would like to hear from someone who hasn't gone yet. Go ahead.
I want to make
Sporting events.
some posted and
Want me to help you? She said, I want to make sporting events more accessible for people with disabilities.
Great. That's awesome. That's for you.
Hi, my name's Sarah from Advocacy Active. I am a blessed beauty with other people. I like to help other staff like us advocate with people like doing cleaning and helpful and be passing to other people that make people feel better.
I got some of it. Oh, music or dancing presentation, okay.
I would make a safari for disabilities and have them relax. If I would have a disability, I would drive a school bus around because I like dogs and cats. And if anyone didn't notice, but I'm in the main room. My mom and dad are selling my big art, but I do self dog portraits of dogs and cats.
So you would show off some of your art
Yes.
as a project, okay. Cool. So those are all really good. Oh, I'm sorry.
So if I had $5,000, that would be great, but I would work on maybe promoting transportation or interstate transportation, not only after hours and on weekends, but like to where that you could just kind of call up a van service and say, hey, I need to go to my doctor's at this
Yeah.
point in time.
Yeah.
You know, and it would be either low cost or almost free.
Oh, okay. Nice. So did you have your hand up?
Um, um, do you guys want flu and um 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 do you guys want flu and um do you guys want flu and Elisa?
What was? Do I work with an inclusive?
Inclusive.
It's a state agency.
Different than what
I'm
is. Yeah.
I'm not sure. I don't think we do.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. 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 I don't think we're familiar with that, so.
Okay.
Good question, though.
Yeah, um, I do, I do, I do have one more question. Um, 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 I do the Down syndrome awareness walk. Um, um, yeah, it is for people with Down syndrome.
Yeah.
Um, 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 yeah, um, 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 do you guys have any people with Down syndrome? Because they could do the Down syndrome awareness walk that they have around here.
We do. There are people with Down syndrome that come to our weekly meetings and stuff. And if that's something that you would like for to present on SARTAC about, that would be good. So we'll definitely take that as an idea. Oops. Here you go. So these are all really good ideas. Thank you. So it was asked earlier how to, apply to be a fellow. So this right here is the application. This is an example application, but the application is going to be like up to date soon. But this is where this is how you would apply. So that's what the application would look like. So to answer your question about how to apply, there it is. And then you just go to, if you want to learn more about it, you go to the website right there, selfadvocacyinfo.org /fellows. Go ahead. So at the beginning, I mentioned that SARTAC is a way for self-advocates to stay connected and support each other. And here is a good example of that. What I found with being involved in self-advocacy is, people with disabilities connecting with each other in the movement. It's why we call it the peer-to-peer connection. And here's how I describe it. People with disabilities, may feel isolated or left out. When, we join self-advocacy, we realize that we are not alone while facing tough times. We meet and connect with people that have been through, the same, if not similar challenges growing up with a disability and still do. When we connect as peers, we rely on each other for support to get through, the tough times in our lives. Advice from people without disabilities, such as staff who, share their thoughts, is not bad at all or terrible, but the information can feel like, sugar-coated or biased from what I've heard from self-advocates themselves. And when it comes from a peer, we are sharing stories and advice through our lived experience. So I mentioned the Thursday Zoom meetings. And this is like one great way that peers connect, and it's through our weekly Zoom meetings. And so it started when the COVID pandemic began 4 years ago, and it was a tremendous change for all of us. That was. And we were all told to stay home, and we couldn't do much, when it come to being in the community because, our country shut down. And because of that, people were feeling confused and lonely with all the changes going on. So we decided to have weekly meetings to keep people connected. And the meetings happen every Thursday from 12 to 1 Central Time, which would be your time. And you will meet people from all over the United States, from like 30 different states. And people at the meetings represent all walks of life, and the diversity is awesome. We've had people that come to the meetings from other countries as well. And during the meetings, people share, what is on our minds, and topics that, we come up with are presented on, at the meetings. And for example, we've talked about, stuff like, law enforcement and how police can better interact with people with disabilities, internet, such as internet safety, and then of course, staying safe when you use the internet and how to be careful. So those are just some of the examples. And then some of what you all said to me today, also we have discussed, and we would be more than happy to do it again. It is really cool to meet and see people from across the country and just get to know them and learn from them. And I highly recommend anyone to attend our weekly meetings. It's always good to see like new faces. So what do you think? Does that sound good to you? What do you think? Go ahead, Jordan. Okay. Nice. Go ahead. So the SARTAC website, there's like 600 plus resources created by self-advocates and, their organizations. So, and this website is like selfadvocacyinfo.org. So what I'm going to do very quickly is I'm going to show you, the website and what it looks like. So basically all you do is you can type it this way. Oops. So what you do is you just go into the website and here's what it looks like. And so you'll see like a menu bar here, like the home page, and then, about with like who we are and civil rights and all that stuff. And then any events that we have, and then resources, which I will show you in a second. Anything on self-advocacy, just support, like how we can help and stuff. So, some of the ideas that you all came up with, we have discussed. So like we just have, like when you go into the resource page, you can see some of the different categories of topics that we talked about, like, housing, like the gentleman over here said was one. So there's a lot of like housing advocacy. There's all these resources that I'm showing you are definitely created by self-advocates. Let me ask you, like, what is a topic that, some of you are interested in? Because you could also like search for it too. Just give me a topic. I can type it in and then show you where to go. Voting? Yes. So there is, in fact, that's a good one. So what I did was I typed in voting up here on the, there's a search engine up there. So voting is one. And you have a lot of resources. So like voting basics created by Green Mountain self-advocates. So there's like all kinds of stuff on voting basics by Green Mountain self-advocates. You can download the the file if you want to. There's also other voting resources. Voting in Nevada, Nevada did something on voting this year. Using accessible voting machines, that's something that was done. That's a resource that was put up on our website. Voting during the pandemic, when people could not go to the polls or were afraid to go to the polls. New Hampshire did something on voting too. Give me another topic that you guys are all interested in. Say that again, sorry. Employment. So I just put in employment up there. You'll see your employment workbook, putting the pieces together. That's one of the topics on employment. Self-Advocate did something on the Employment Act, which is a law. Real Work for Real Pay, that's another by the Autistic Self-Advocacy Network, one of our partners. They had some resources that they had us put up on our website. Disability Employment Policy 101 Guide, that's another by an old colleague of mine, Nicola Blanc. I miss her. So this just gives you like an idea. If there's a topic that you are interested in, you can just type it in the search engine. You can also over here select, you know, a category of a topic. So like leadership, I know some of you kind of hinted at that. And then you have more resources like teamwork, making the dream work, overview of disability history that has to do with leadership. What is leadership? By Green Mountain Self Advocates. There's also leadership training. So all kinds of good stuff. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So there you go. This is just some of the ways you can navigate our website. So because we're kind of low on time, I'm very sorry that I could not give you a chance to like pretty much do like a navigation of the website, but I want to be respectful of time. But you would just, if you'd like, use your own cell phone to go on the website, and then these are just some of the topics that you could research if you want. But I want to say that on the SARTAC website there is a section on civil rights, and so like there are some different slides that talk about the Black or African American civil rights movement and the LGBTQ civil rights movement and the self-advocacy civil rights movement, which is the disability rights movement. We also have information in plain language about civil rights groups, because that's what SARTAC represents, because we as disability rights, we are a civil rights movement. So we have information in plain language about civil rights groups using the courts to get things changed, about how to pass laws to get things changed, and how civil rights groups protest and get things changed, take action. So I guess what I can do is because I don't like talking to people at people so much, is you want to what do you think let me ask you this question, like just give it to me, just like what do the three civil rights movements have in common? And when you think about civil rights for Black people or people who are gay people or people with disabilities, what do we have in common, and what are some examples of like what we're fighting for? Oh, I forgot the mic. Go ahead. Oh my, sorry, man.
that we're all people in different ways and we all have rights and we all have to respect how people are in different ways.
Yeah. Absolutely. Go ahead.
Just because we've made change doesn't mean we need to stop making change, that we're going to continue to do it.
Yeah.
I don't think it's right for other people to discriminate disabled people in the way they live.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah. Go ahead.
We're all equal.
Absolutely. Here you go.
I have one.
Okay.
Yes, we're all equal, but we all have to remember that even though we're equal, other people aren't going to necessarily accept us for who we are.
Uh-huh.
So we need to voice ourselves
Yeah.
as to what we can do and show people that we are able.
Yeah.
Some is white, some is black,
Uh-huh.
equal. Are equal.
People should respect people's rights.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It also that we all are human beings and we all are social and that we all have a sense of belonging. We all want to be a part of each other.
Yeah. Definitely. I'm coming.
Passion.
Absolutely.
Passion meeting compassion, meeting fire.
Yeah.
We're all part of a bigger thing. We're part of a revolution that's never going to lose its fire.
Yeah.
It's like that great Billy Joel song, "We didn't start the fire." It's been burning since the world's been turning.
Yeah.
And as long as we remember our history and where we began and we keep bringing that fire to the revolution with
Yeah.
all of our passion and all of our compassion, we can affect change.
Yeah.
We all have rights.
Yep. Definitely.
That was a good one, right?
Yes, it was.
Who you are at the best of the ways, dancing with awareness, be the honest with the dancing with awareness walk, be dancing with awareness on the paint of cancer. And we have a right. Everybody have a right without a possibility with other people.
I do have a question for you all. I know I don't want to be mean, but I having a problem like work, how we make other people treat us as same. Like there's some people are like said to me, I don't look like them. I'm black and I am, but they say I don't belong here. You gotta go away where you from. How we make that better, like make them treat us good as equal. How we do that.
I'm sorry to hear that. And they can't do that. Yeah.
We're out of time really, so.
I want to ask like how I lost track of time. Like,
Yeah,
is
hold
it?
on, let me finish something. Anybody who didn't get a ticket yet, we need to do that part because we have like 5 minutes left. So anybody who hasn't got a ticket yet,
Yeah.
raise your hand and Pass them out. Because we want all these out.
I did.
Thank you to everybody who.
Yeah, thank you for everyone. I think I think the workshop gets over at 12 or is it 12:15? I forgot. 12, okay.